Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Brett's Brain. Today I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to balance your time between fundraising and running your startup. Hey, I'm Brett Brohl, former entrepreneur, current venture capitalist. Thanks so much for checking out this channel. Make sure you share, like, subscribe. And if you have any questions, please let us answer them for you. Our goal here is to help entrepreneurs succeed. Okay, when you're going to go fundraise, I promise you it is going to become a full-time job. It takes so much of the CEO's time. You're constantly on calls, on meetings, flying around, doing diligence items, getting things checked off. Like, it is a full-time job. It takes hours and hours and hours. And so you are inevitably going to be removed from your company. So here's a couple of things you can do to prepare. Number 1 is stack as much of the preparation and pre-work as you can before you actually kick off the fundraise. Get as much done as possible, because you can work on that while you're still in your business, while you're still working on it, when you have extra time. So things like do a lot of research on your fund list. So who do you want to pitch? Do all the research you can up front. Make sure all of your documentation is squared away and set. So you have your pitch deck done, you have your memo done, you have your financials done. Your data room is full and filled and has everything that you can think of in it. So it's ready to go. The more you can accomplish up front, the less you're going to have to do while you're out fundraising. So you're not going to be scrambling around. If you need to take a customer call in between all your investor meetings, you'll be able to do it. So prepare up front and be ready for that point when you're not going to have as much time to work on your business. Number 2, and this one is one that will actually probably help you in the long run, hopefully, is trust your teammates. You have to trust the people around you to get their jobs done. Most of the time, founders, before they go off for their first fundraise, they kind of have their hands and their eyes on everything. We tend to micromanage a little bit because it's our baby. We started it. We don't have a huge team. We're still involved in everything. We have to be involved in everything. A fundraise and actually pulling yourself out of the business can be incredibly beneficial to you in the long run. First of all, it's not healthy for you to stay on everything while you're fundraising because you won't have time. But second, you can see how good is your team actually. Do you have the right people in the right places? How much falls off while you're away from the business? What parts of your business fall off? Does customer success fall off? Does sales fall off? Does product fall off? Or do all of them continue to rock and roll? So make sure you prepare your team, make sure that they're aware that, hey guys, I am going to be out of the company, the business, for all intents and purposes for the next 2 months. I'm going to be focused on nothing but fundraising. So I need you all to really make sure like the ship is going the right direction and you're in charge of it. They can take that ownership, which they might have hesitated to do prior to this moment in time because you've been so involved. It's always incredible to watch that difference. And honestly, after a fundraise or even during a fundraise, sometimes the CEOs we work with will come out of it and be like, man, it's almost freeing because now I know I don't need to be as involved in sales because I have a great person doing that. So be willing to step out of some of those roles where you have really good people and completely hand it off. It'll pay dividends in the long run, to let you know if you have the right people or you need to find the right people. And third is own it. Be intellectually honest with yourself. Realize that fundraising is a full-time job, even though it is a short-term job. And so recognize that you can't do everything. Make sure that you spend the time and set the time aside to fundraise, because if you go halfway on fundraising, instead of being a 2-month pitch process, it's going to be in 6 months and drag out. And you're going to be doing 2 things kind of halfway. And if you do things halfway, you tend not to do it right. I'd recommend that you go all in on the fundraising, remove yourself from the business, and try and get it done as quickly as possible, one way or the other. That's a far better approach than saying, well, I'm going to go halfway on both, and you're going to end up not doing either well. So just be intellectually honest with yourself, recognize that you're going to have to step out, prepare your team, and then also know that you're probably going to see your metrics decrease when you pull yourself out of sales, or you pull yourself out of customer success, or you pull yourself out of product as the CEO and somebody that's been in it to win it forever. Those things are going to take dips while you're fundraising to start. Your sales are going to go down. Your retention might go down. Your product might not get pushed as quickly as it has in the past. Be ready for that, acknowledge it, but understand that the most important thing you can be doing for your company is raising capital. Hopefully this was helpful. Thanks so much for checking out the channel. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, and ask us questions so we can help you in your journey.